So here's something I've actually been thinking about a lot, and just an opinion that, I actually enjoy people's input. It doesn't bother me whether you're in agreement or disagreement, actually. But there's been a lot that's said in dairy groups about grass-fed versus grain-fed. I choose to do grass-fed. Fresca is currently finishing up her bucket of organic alfalfa pellets, black oil sunflower seeds, which, to be honest, I'm looking for replacements for, because I do understand that sunflowers are often used to clean up toxic areas. We don't buy them organically, so that's something I'm working on. But you can't just make a drastic change and expect the cow to be okay. You need to make sure you're replacing things in the proper way and still giving them what they need. So the organic alfalfa, the black oil sunflower seeds, they also get just a little bit of organic herbals, oregano. It's just the dried herb. And then, so yeah, it's just dried oregano is basically what I'm trying to say there. They also have a calcium kelp blend from Country Organics. We put that in their feed every day. It's just a good source of calcium for them, some added nutrients through the kelp. And then what else is going in there? Oh, okay, two big ones. Molasses. Molasses is actually super important because they're grass-fed. They still need the carbs. Carbs are super important for them to keep condition. She keeps an excellent condition. Fly is a lot harder to keep condition on. So molasses is super important for them, particularly in the winter time. They get a good blackstrap molasses, excellent for their rumen health, full of nutrients, great replacer for corn and soy. And they also get a fish oil. So it's an omega. It's actually for horses. You buy it by the gallon. That keeps their skin, of course it's great for us, it's great for the milk, but it's also keeping their skin really soft and supple. So you're seeing excellent teat health, which means you're not getting easy rips, tears, frostbite, that's the word I'm looking for. So those are all things that are in their feed, on top of a really high quality second cutting hay that's like a fermented hay. Alfalfa hay, when we can get it, finding clean alfalfa hay is really, really hard. So basically, when someone says a cow can't be grass-fed, it's not that she can't be grass-fed. It depends on what your expectations are for that cow. If you're requiring a super high output from your cows, grass-fed is going to be a lot harder. Now, there are some cows that are fat, happy, and making a ton of milk on just a grass diet. And I think a lot of those are even just raised on a really rich pasture, which there's really nothing that comes in a bag or in a bale that's ever going to replace good fresh pasture. That being said, most girls aren't going to just thrive on grass, and they require the additional input of the alfalfa and different things in order to keep their milk production up. For my girls, I don't have a high expectation of a really high yield. I'm not asking them for maximum output. Fresca can make 6 gallons a day when she was a grain-fed cow before we transitioned her to grass-fed, very successfully, I might add. She's bred back, she's gorgeous, healthy coat, healthy cow. She dropped from making 5 to 6 gallons a day to 2 to 3 gallons a day. So that's a huge, huge decrease. And we're paying much more in food. So if you want to switch a cow to grass-fed, be prepared to put a lot more into their feed and get less of an output. That's not true for every cow, but that's far more typical. If you have that unicorn that's just a little queen on a grass-fed diet, count your blessings. Fly, on the other hand, she doesn't keep condition well. We're constantly trying to keep her healthy, keep her weight on. She'll give everything to her calf. And she's just a leaner cow, but we keep her healthy. She's disease free. Never any mastitis in these girls. Not even an inkling of mastitis with really little to no health issues. When you have a cow on a super healthy diet and you're supporting their immune health, then they're going to be healthy. We also do supplement with vitamin E and selenium capsules. We're low in selenium around here. The vitamin E keeps their milk nice, consistent, so tasty. So yeah, those are just a couple things about grass-fed versus grain-fed cows. Again, you can expect a lower output typically. Like I said, there's some queens out there that are just going to give you some amazing milk. You should also still get a great cream line, okay? You should have a nice, thick, several inches of cream on the top. Again, that varies per cow. But if you're seeing really practically no cream, she's missing something out of her diet. Also, the milk, even when it separates, shouldn't look too clear. It should be pretty nice and milky. If you're seeing kind of a clear milk once it separates, she needs better nutrition. So these are just some thoughts that I had about the grass-fed versus the grain-fed. Personally, I've experienced transitioning grain-fed cows onto grass-fed when freshened, and getting a great success with that. Biggest obstacles, in my opinion, are being willing to put the amount of money into the feed with a much lower yield. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, well, Fresca will go to the bathroom in this stanchion if she's here too long, so I'm gonna get her hot and back into the field.